Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day, and all kinds of Comic-Con news is starting to trickle in. And yes, we have heard the news about James Gunn being fired from Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We're going to talk a little bit about that. That just happened just before we started, so we haven't had time to kind of process this, but we're going to talk about it in a sec. But this rundown is going out to Shadow Speed X, who also plays Inverted. Right on, Shadow Speed X. This rundown is all yours. Marvel and Netflix aren't letting past failures keep them from trying again with one of their most powerful heroes. The first teaser trailer for Iron Fist Season 2 debuted yesterday evening at the massive San Diego Comic-Con, giving audiences their first look at the new episodes. It might come as a bit of a surprise that the show is even getting a second season. The first season was critically panned when it debuted last year and is widely considered the worst of the Marvel Netflix offerings. The second season has a new showrunner, Raven Metzner, and will also feature new characters like Alice Eve as the Marvel villain Typhoid Mary. We'll get to find out if they can turn things around when the second season debuts September 7th. Now, this show looks much better. It looks like they've been taking a lot of the feedback and a lot of the notes that we have all been giving them, and I liked Iron Fist's appearance in the second season of Luke Cage. Feels like they're on the right tack here. They're going in the right direction. I'm holding out some hope for this. I'm excited about this character. I've always dug this character. I think the casting may have been a little bit cheeseball, but we shall see. Season 2 looks like it's going to make some amends. I'm excited, Marvel and Netflix. Don't let me down. It's coming up very soon. Now, over in the DC universe, yet another heroic new TV series is in the works. Just days after the announcement of a live-action Batwoman TV show, DC and Warner Brothers have revealed that they're creating another new show based on the superhero Stargirl. The character was created by Jeff Johns and Lee Moder in 1999 and comes armed with her own cosmic staff that gives her superhuman powers. Stargirl has already appeared on other shows like Smallville and the more recent Legends of Tomorrow, although it's unclear if the new series will use the same actress, Sarah Gray, and take place within the same small-screen continuity. We do know that it's being produced by DC veteran Greg Berlanti along with Jeff Johns and will air on the new subscription streaming platform DC Universe, which launches this fall. Look, I'm excited, man. Greg Berlanti and Jeff Johns have delivered us lots of great entertainment. These are a very good collection of creators out there. They're picking some interesting choices for the characters. The DC, bench is very deep. There's lots of great characters for these people to pull from and bring onto the small screen. Stargirl is a cool character. I'm excited. You guys have got me. I'll try to find time in my busy superhero TV schedule to watch some Stargirl episodes as well. It's amazing how many of these shows there are. Now, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate isn't the only crossover game that's taking a deep breath of the wild. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has just received a surprise update that allows players to race in the cool Master Cycle Zero from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The update also adds Breath of the Wild's blue tunic-wearing version of Link. As for the Master Cycle Zero, it handles similarly to the other motorcycles in the game, and also like the other vehicles, you can customize the tires and the glider. The new content is available now as a free update for all players. See, this is what I love that Nintendo is doing. These free updates keep coming for all of their games. It's like they continuously have this long life, and it makes you want to go back to play them, which is amazing because Nintendo really doesn't do multiple sequels on every console generation. This is probably going to be the only Mario Kart game we get for this current version of the Switch, and if they keep making new, fresh material like this, it's going to keep people playing it and going back to it, and there's no reason why they shouldn't. It's an incredible game. I want to see some of the ARMS characters in some of these titles, Smash Brothers and in Mario Kart. It'd be fantastic. The ARMS characters are some of the best characters that I think Nintendo's created in recent years. This is very good news, though, and of course I'm going to download this. Now, speaking of cycles, one of the biggest giants in entertainment is taking a bigger step into virtual reality. Disney has announced that they're creating their first VR short film. It's called Cycles and will debut at the SIGGRAPH Tech event in Vancouver next month. Although there have been several Disney VR experiences like Disney Movies VR on the Oculus Rift and Pixar's Coco VR game, Cycles will be their first film made for VR devices. It's being made by Walt Disney Animation Studios, the same team behind feature films like Frozen, Zootopia, and Moana. No word yet on when it will be given a wide release or what VR platforms will get it. This is pretty damn exciting news for VR fans out there. This is exactly exactly the kind of support that VR headsets and VR technology needs. It's obviously Disney's the big brand here. It's not necessarily based on any of their animated stuff, but just the fact that they are putting resources and creative attention in this direction is a very, very big and positive thing. I still believe that, what is going to get people to pick up headsets and race to the stores to sort of get into the hardware game around VR is software that is familiar to people, using characters that we know and love. I mean, it's great that there was a Coco Pixar VR experience, but it's why was there no Incredibles type of experience? And still, I think the big one out there is Star Wars. Obviously you can go and have the Star Wars location-based VR experience out there, but people want to be able to fly X-Wings at home on a regular basis and join up with their buddies all over the world. And I don't know what VR is waiting for. We finally know when you'll be able to play Stardew Valley with your friends. The final version of the long-awaited multiplayer update for the hit farming simulation game will hit the PC on August 1st. The multiplayer update has been beta testing for the last several months and allows up to 3 players to work together to do pretty much everything that you can already do by yourself in the main game, including farm the land, craft items, and interact with the townsfolk. You'll even be able to form romances with your friends just like you can with NPCs, although hopefully that doesn't create any complicated love triangles. The multiplayer update will find its way to consoles sometime after it hits the PC. This is incredible. This game is so beautiful and addictive and smart. I think things are going to change a little bit when you add human characters and human players into the equation here. This is a pretty funny bit of script that Blake wrote for me here about complicated love triangles. That seems to be what happens. It gets a little bit weird when you start having these relationships online. I remember some of the stories that came out of The Sims Online when people were having marriages and relationships because you can do that in the game. It gets a little bit crazy. And this is such an addictive experience, man. Anybody that's ever jumped into Stardew Valley can attest to it. It's wonderful, and it's great that you're going to be able to share this with friends and make new friends when you're playing it. It's a beautiful game. But that concludes our rundown for today. It's time for us to take a look back at this day and everything cool. Welcome to This Day and Everything Cool for July 20th. On this day in 1988, Capcom gave the gaming world a real shot in the arm. The original Bionic Commando was released on the Famicom in Japan, with a Western release on the NES following a few months later. The console version was actually a port of an arcade game that had been released the previous year, but both versions offered the same basic gameplay, with players traversing 2D environments by using a cool robot arm. Players could grapple onto objects to hoist themselves up and swing from place to place, which was something that hadn't really been done before, making Bionic Commando one of the most original games made up to that point. The gameplay was undoubtedly awesome, but there was something else about the game that wasn't as cool. The original Japanese version sees players taking on Nazis, and as such, prominently features swastikas and other Nazi imagery, which Capcom decided to remove from almost all the versions released outside of Japan. Bionic Commando was a success and was ported over to the Game Boy in 1992. Capcom revived the franchise with the remake, Bionic Commando Rearmed, in 2008, and a full 3D reboot in 2009. Bionic Commando, wow, man, incredible game series. I love that game. I once had a friend of mine, Raul. How are you doing, Raul? Watched me play the entire NES game of Bionic Commando from start to finish. He just sat there and watched me for the whole thing. I think he was just, well, not just me. He watched the game. That'd be weird if he was just watching me. Although he was a director and I was an actor, so maybe he was watching me for something. I don't know. But he has ended up writing and directing stuff, and he's a great dude, and I'll never forget the day that he watched me play Bionic Commando. Listen, today we got some unbelievable news with James Gunn getting fired from the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 film. He turned in his script not too long ago, and he said he put everything he had into it, and tons of excitement around that. He's done an amazing job with Guardians 1 and 2, and it's unbelievable news. It's like a big... it's like an atom bomb going off at Comic-Con. This is terrible news for Marvel and for Disney, and most importantly for James Gunn, but it's kind of his own making. This is a director that was on a trajectory, and certainly these tweets that got him fired were from many years ago, but And maybe there was some political kind of ideas behind getting this out there. I don't know all of the details around that, and I would probably suspect that is the case. And sometimes it's a little bit weird to kind of dig into somebody's personal life from many years ago and say, okay, look at this stuff. This guy is just not suitable to have the position that he's in. And I think that there's probably an equivalency going on with what happened with Roseanne Barr getting fired from her job for tweeting. And it's awful. It's a tragic thing that has happened for everybody that's been a fan of what has happened with this guy. James Gunn was a scrappy indie, director and a writer that wrote some pretty eyebrow-raising stuff and created some stuff that was a little bit shocking, a little not in the Disney pantheon. And so I can kind of understand from Disney's perspective that they just don't want to have any association with the hubbub, because there are shareholders and it's such a huge conglomerate based on family-friendly entertainment. That I can understand why they would be put into this position. It's amazing that we can do things and say things and write things and post things and they can follow us forever. But I think that's, the morality tale around this is that stuff doesn't go away. And, it sucks to see these just human individuals, get taken down like this. It's both fair and unfair. I can understand why Disney wouldn't want the issue, and I can also understand why James Gunn has done a lot to kind of, make people at Disney very happy and very wealthy, and make, more importantly than that, though, is make the fans very happy with his work. And so we kind of lose out in this situation. And I think what is most frightening about this is the sense of Disney now, or these huge corporations being gun shy about the creative people that they're going to hire. And it's almost like there is going to be political digging into past, discussions and posts and relationships before these people are hired and granted the keys to these unbelievably huge and important franchises out there. And maybe there's an element to some of the issues that happened with Star Wars and some of the directors and stuff that were involved with those movies along the way. Or any of these big, I don't want to just put it all under Disney's spotlight there or anything like that. But it's troubling news. It's sad, man, because I've been a fan of James Gunn. And I know that he's a bit of a live wire. He's a very interesting individual that sort of beats to his own drum and creates the stuff that's artistically motivating for him. And in the face of these huge corporations and in the constructs to turn these things into action figures and licensed goods and theme park attractions, having somebody with the artistic sensibilities of James Gunn sort of at the helm of these projects has made them better. And that's what we all lose out on. So it's kind of sad news. I think there was probably some calculation to this news dropping during Comic-Con week. But very curious to hear what you guys are all saying. We probably won't be able to catch up in real time here, but we're, of course, going to be doing some Let's Play and chat in this episode. But it is great to see everybody. Abby Jamison, Philip Nagy, Fat Chimp, Blade Blur, Terrence Foreman. Who else is all in here? The Ren is in here. Taz is in here. Blade Blur, Adrian Leon. It's great to see everybody in here. Yeah, very interesting days, right? Like it's definitely a mood-altering piece of business out there, and I'm sure it sent shockwaves through all of Hollywood and all of fandom. I'm sure Comic-Con is like, what? Right now. But we have to move on. I have been playing Jeff Minter's latest game. It is called Tempest 4000. Now, you've probably heard Jeff Minter has made games with the Tempest moniker in the past, Anybody that's played the Atari Jaguar will fondly remember how awesome Tempest 2000 was and how seminal that cartridge was for that particular console. He has, dabbled in this this arcadey world a few times since then. There was a Tempest 3000. Tempest 4000 is a 4K displaying beautiful EDM-rich arcade shooter in the vein of the classic Atari arcade game Tempest, which was a vector-based game, and you just shot down these webs. It's, a pretty rudimentary game to explain. You just blast at the bad guys that are coming up to get you. What Minter did through his iterations on the Tempest brand is he's added a lot of power-ups, and he's added a lot of funk, and he's added a lot of amazing non sequiturs and little comments and things like that as you pass through each of these webs and are challenged by more difficult enemies and unlock little bits of fun within this experience. One of the things that popped up as I beat a web was, "You've won clean underpants." So he's got certainly a British sensibility about him. His company's called Llamasoft, and he always has llamas in his work. And you can hear the occasional braying of llamas in here. You also get in one of the weird, trippy warp zone sequences, you get a woman going, "Oh, yes, yeah." And I was streaming that last night. I wanted everybody to see that as I was streaming it. And it's very sexual, and it's very weird because you're going through these tubes and you're hearing this, "Yes, yeah." But that's the kind of weird game it is. And the whole time you're dancing and you're playing with the thing and you're having to grapple with the mechanics of moving your little spider guy or whatever, your little dude, your little zapper person. I don't know what the creature is, but it's crawling along the outside of the web, shooting down the thing. And you have to deal with, when you are upside down, the mechanics of how you control change up a little bit. It's not just a side-to-side kind of shooter. You're dealing with a 360-degree circumference, and the webs are all, weirdly shaped on purpose to challenge the way that you're going to be mobile across the webs. And if you get some help, it's not just like, "Oh my God, there's too many of them." You get AI drones that will help you and blast away at things. You'll be able to augment your weaponry and level up to maximum bullets, which will just strafe all kinds of bad guys really quickly. The best power-up is the jump ability, which to my ears last night as I was playing it, it really reminded me of the Pitfall Man jump. Which was hilarious. There are lots of Atari, pokes in this game. Lots of things that pop up that remind us of the old days. One of the levels I think is called Circus Atari, and it's just it's a love letter to the Tempest franchise. It's now a pretty long-lasting franchise. It's a love letter to classic arcade games and that kind of addiction. And high scores play a big part in this game because it's really just about sort of eking out a little bit further. You can get a little bit further, and of course you can start at, on one of the modes. I think the classic mode, you can start from a higher level depending on the levels that you've unlocked, but you're always just trying to incrementally get a little bit better at the game, and then you see how your score stacks up with the other scores around the world and your friends list and stuff. I don't know if this is a game that's going to be for everybody, and to be honest, it's amazing, but it's certainly, for me, but it's certainly not a state-of-the-art Tempest experience in 2018. It feels still a little garage bandy, or like garage made in some ways, like the way that the music is a little bit clumsily stitched together. It's not one seamless sort of like transitional thing right into the next piece of music or whatever. All of the classic music is in there, though, which is great, and it really brings me back to the day. But I feel like I'm trying to recapture a nostalgic kind of escape as opposed to being overwhelmed by the imagination and the beauty of this new endeavor, And I feel like that's kind of what you want. Like when you look at the Shadow of the Colossus reimagining for the PlayStation 4, you kind of want that level of scrutiny over the way that the game has been developed to kind of bring in new players and just blow their brains, but also to, make everybody that's been along for the ride for this whole time just say, "Oh my God, we've reached another level." Now, it's amazing that I've got this running on my 4K OLED screen, and I crank up the volume and it sounds great, and you zen into this experience. All of that stuff is still there. There are also, there's a survival mode, and there's a classic mode, and there's a pure mode, which will change the amount of lives that you get, and sort of challenge you on how long you can survive and persist. And then, yes, you're always looking at those high score marks and stuff. I really hope that there's a VR upgrade for this for the PlayStation 4. It would seem silly that there wouldn't be. Minter's already done a PSVR arcade experience. I think it's called Palabius, which Nine Inch Nails used in one of their last videos, which is crazy. Listen, I love this thing, but I have to put a caveat in there that I don't know if this is going to be for everybody. I think it's, for those of us that love old arcade games. So if you're in that camp, you're going to dig this. Or for those of us that have fond memories of Tempest 2000 for the Atari Jaguar. And I was surprised to see and happy to see that many of the people that I was streaming with last night, Abby Jameson, were talking about the old Atari days and had great, the Jaguar days, and had great memories of Tempest 2000. Do I think it's as seminal and as important and as life-changing as Tempest 2000 was for me? No. But I sure love that it's in my library. I think that probably the smart move, if you're intrigued by this game, is to wait till it drops in price a little bit, or there's a VR upgrade, or there's some kind of new patches of new modes or new content in there. But you know what? With those caveats and with you kind of assessing your own interest in all of this, I still think you're going to have a very fun time if you give this game some time. I'm going to give Tempest 4,000 an 8 out of 10. And right now, it's time for a buried treasure. I want to talk about a Sega classic that never really got the adoration that it deserved. It's Nights into Dreams, which came out in 1996 for the Sega Saturn, and it was developed by Sonic Team. They wanted to experiment and try something a little bit different, taking some of the 2D game design that they have employed with the Sonic the Hedgehog games, but moving things into 3D, using polygons, and building a kind of a more robust three-dimensional environment for your characters to navigate through. You play as knights, and you also play as a couple of little teenagers, a boy and a girl, and you're cruising around inside of these dreams, which were influenced by works by Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud. Like, the team actually wanted to dive deep into the idea of dreams and nightmares. And what you could do is kind of fly and float around. There was a lot more mobility than what we were used to with the Sonic games in terms of, being able to kind of manipulate yourself and through these environments. It was still 2.5D because you were still kind of scrolling around objects. It was seen from the side, but there was a three-dimensional quality to all of the worlds, and you could sort of duck into worlds and behind, but you couldn't move the camera everywhere you wanted to. There were, obviously boss fights and challenge bits in here as well. The game worlds were split up across 7 different levels, and then you had a bunch of mares. They were called mares in between each level, so you saw a lot of beautiful artwork. It was incredibly ambitious, absolutely one of the best Saturn games out there. And then it was re-released for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 and the PC in 2012. This is also a backwards compatible title for the Xbox One, so if you picked it up for the 360, you could still play it on the Xbox One. There was also a Wii sequel that was made, and again, that didn't really hit with, I think, the amount of acclaim that the Knights games really deserve. I think that Sonic Team has built us some of the most indelible video game experiences. Most of them have been exclusively kind of focused on what they've done with Sonic, and it's been up and down for sure, but Knights is something special, and it's totally worth re-exploring, especially if you've got an Xbox One and access to picking up this thing as a backwards compatible title, or if this is buried somewhere in your collection. Nights into Dreams, absolutely a buried treasure. See, that right there is a classic game. It makes me want to play it. I actually have it on my Xbox One X hard drive, which blows me away. I haven't loaded it up in a while. I want to check that game out again, though. But yes, very fond memories of Nights into Dreams. Listen, I had a chance to watch a movie with my wife on HBO the other day that was really moving and really, really lovely. It's called Robin Williams' Come Inside My Mind. Let's take a look at my review. I watched a great new documentary on HBO that's called Robin Williams, Come Inside My Mind. It's directed by Marina Zenovich, who directed documentaries on Roman Polanski and Richard Pryor in the past. Come Inside My Mind is very special because it deals with a subject, Robin Williams, that I think most of us have known for big chunks of our lives. He has been so omnipresent and been so, available to us through all kinds of means, through television, through animation, through movies, through, stage performances and stand-up. He's been everywhere. I myself have met Robin Williams. I met him at E3 years ago, and it was an incredible experience in my career to be able to meet this guy who is so open for people. And I'll tell you quickly a quick story about that experience. I met him. I had a quick conversation with him, and I said, would you like to be on the show? And he said, sure, we'll talk about video games. And within a second of the light going on the camera and myself talking with him, we were just surrounded like we were in a Greek theater all of a sudden. There were just people everywhere just watching all of this. And of course I got a bit nervous, but he was so friendly and kind and had such an unabashed love for video games. He loves Zelda, named his daughter Zelda, and Cody, I think, is named for one of the characters in Final Fight. But anyways, Robin Williams has been around and available to us. So one of the cool things that is done in this documentary is he basically self-narrates it, and he talks about, his experiences and his anecdotes and his perspectives on how things were happening. This was a kid that went to Juilliard, became great friends with Christopher Reeve. I'm an enormous Christopher Reeve fan, so I knew this already, but it was great to see these private photographs and hear these stories of the two of them together. Just beautiful, right? Just a great trip through these incredible moments in this person's life that we all got to know along the way, especially if you were like me, who grew up in the 80s and remembered Mork and Mindy, which was created because Gary Marshall asked his son why he didn't like watching Happy Days anymore, and he said, well, he had been enamored with Star Wars, as all of us were in that generation, and he wanted a spaceman. And so Gary Marshall said, "Get writers, make a spaceman for Happy Days," and that's how Mork was born. And they cast Robin Williams, and then they turned it into a successful standalone television series, Mork and Mindy, unbeknownst to Pam Dauber, who was cast alongside Robin Williams. And they just spliced episodes of another show that Pam Dauber was working on, and they spliced in some stuff that Robin Williams had done on Happy Days, and they just cut a really quick pilot together, and then they had a full episode order on ABC, and it was a hit show, and it turned Robin Williams from this street performer, this vagabond, with really fantastic performance chops, but it's sort of an unfiltered, raw, untapped potential kind of performer, into this megastar that was all over the place. But he was still doing stand-up, and he got caught up in the comedy scene, and we see all of these anecdotes. The comedy scene that was happening in the 80s in Los Angeles, and befriended Jim Belushi and met Steve Martin and Billy Crystal and all these people along the way, got addicted to drugs, and they actually had this compelling sequence in the documentary about how Robin Williams was with Jim Belushi the night he died, and had left him and recognized that he was really wasted, and then he died in the Chateau Marmont, and that basically sobered up Robin Williams and changed his trajectory again, and we see that the end of the show had some pretty dramatic impact on his life and his relationship with his wife, who tried to make a go of it, but Robin Williams was like this shooting star that had so much attention that it kind of turned him into an industry, his ex-wife says, and so that relationship dissolved. So there's some really interesting insight in there. One of my favorite bits is with Billy Crystal talking about how he didn't want anything out of Robin Williams, like so many other people in his life. He just wanted the friendship, and they really had this great friendship that lasted for years and years and years. And so we get to see the human, behind all of this, even though there's such a humanistic kind of quality to the performances of Robin Williams that I think we all identify with, which turned him into this eternal celebrity and into this eternal star, this celebrity that was also open and approachable, and his stand-up was so raw and so unfettered and felt so organic. And David Letterman actually says that, because he was a stand-up coming up at the same time as Robin Williams, and he saw Robin Williams and he said he looks like he's flying, like he's levitating off of the stage. And that's kind of what it was like. And I think that there has always been this sense of like, wow, man, this guy's just giving it everything he's got, and that can be a bit overwhelming, but we got to know him. we got to know him through his roles and his interviews and his performances and his stand-up. But this also adds another human depth and exploration that is so worthwhile, and it's so well crafted. And after watching this, you understand that Robin Williams wasn't just always on. There was a quiet introspection to him and a craftsmanship in the way that he put together his pieces, but also this unbelievable, unbridled, improvisational kind of spirit that this man had and gave to all of us. And of course it's incredibly sad because we all know how Robin Williams died and you know, the tragic events that unfolded to lead to that decision, but it's a great celebration of an incredible human being, and I was floored watching it and moved. And I absolutely, if you're a fan of Robin Williams, or even if you're just newly discovering his work, I think that this stands as a pretty good testament to the power of an individual and what he meant to all of us that loved his work. You know, we're gonna miss him, and the world is been definitely a lot emptier since he's been gone. But Robin Williams, Come Inside My Mind is absolutely worth your time. It's on HBO now, but I'm sure it's going to come to home video and other flavors down the road. It's a very good movie, and it's absolutely worth your time. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Robin Williams, man, rest in peace. Oh, I got this thing still on. I'm watching the review there. I said Jim Belushi, not John Belushi. I can't believe that. But I don't know. I guess we'll try to fix it in the clipped out review there. You guys caught it right away. But yes, Robin Williams meant a lot to me. We're playing as he did to probably everybody, and I'm reading lots of good comments about all this stuff. Thorazine666, he was a true comedic force of nature and a good person, more importantly. Yeah, I have comic friends that live and work out of Vancouver, comedians, and he would always come into Vancouver and perform, and he was just a supportive, awesome dude, you know, with everybody. Okay, we are playing the Far Cry 5 Lost on Mars DLC. We just got that loaded into the Xbox right now, so I'm just going to turn the music off, bam, and make sure my controls are correct with invert. 1 second. Normal aiming. Where is the invert? I'm sure it is. Huh? Okay, yep, it's all there. So I kept all my my stuff from the main game. Okay, so I have to find Herc, and we are going, and I don't know if I have any guns or weapons or anything like that. I actually don't know what's going on in this story. I skipped past it, but we are on Mars, and we're gonna go shoot some not cult members that were on in Montana.
Well, maybe they're cult aliens.
Cult aliens. Okay, cool. Blake Siefkins here, ladies and gentlemen, everybody. Fancy fam, thank you so much. It's very sweet.
I think the story of this is that you've been abducted by aliens.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Herc is a character from the main game.
Right.
So you gotta go find Herc.
Okay. So I'm walking fairly slow here.
There were subtle references to aliens in the main game as well.
Right.
There's like one side mission where you help a guy build a UFO.
Okay, here we go, here we go. Now we're gonna get some story. Oh no! Herc is just ahead.
Oh no.
They took his head.
That's awesome.
Let us know if the audio's okay.
Tyler Fisher, Vic, can you give my wife a shout out?
Oh yes, what Cassie, Tyler Fisher, and Cassie, his wife, are celebrating 2 years married tomorrow, I believe, and 10 years together. And they both look incredible in EPN shirts. Very sweet of you guys. But congratulations and thank you for joining us. And Cassie, if you're watching, hello! How are you?
It's not going to be us who are doing the actual saving.
Okay, so
it's going to be mostly that AI.
This is so weird. It's just a talking head with a little rocket thing underneath it.
Only problem is, man, these aliens.
And Herc was in Far Cry 3 as well.
Okay.
His character.
And she has come undone.
I can't remember him in Far Cry 3.
He's one of the side mission guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
By finding energy cores and using them to power up all the terminals in the network. It's a simple plan, don't worry. Gotta get moving though, man. This
Clayton Blair says he can see you on, because I guess he has you as a friend on Xbox Live.
Yes.
So he can see that you're playing this right now.
Okay, cool.
So that's pretty cool.
So it's working?
Yep. Everything's working. They know we're doing this live. We're not bullshitting.
So I'd love to hear some comments about the James Gunn firing. I'm sure people have some insight and some...
Well, I have one right now from Paul Adamson.
Okay.
Adamson. Question. Any comment on... Oh, he's asking if we talked about it already. Yes, we talked about it already.
Yeah, we talked about it, and I think one of the big takeaways is what this means for other creatives that work for huge public corporations like Walt Disney. Are they going to be vetted like political figures before they're hired, and will a transgression on the internet lead
From
to
10 years ago.
lead to many more people not getting hired or fired, which is unreal. It's a little bit slow. I played the game on the X, and I didn't have any choppiness or anything like that, but this feels a little choppy on the S.
This feels the same as, because I played Far Cry 5 on the PS4,
Okay.
regular PS4, and
Okay.
this feels like the same frame rate and everything.
Okay, so I got these energy cores.
Yeah, I don't think it was a 60 on the, if you didn't have the X or the Pro.
Okay,
I could be wrong about that though, but it looks the same.
looks the same to you?
Yeah,
I don't think it was 60 on the X, but I don't know, it just felt a little more
yeah.
fluid.
Control center restored.
Okay, I restored a control center.
It worked, see? Nick,
I've
this
got-
is Ann.
Sam IM111. I still remember when Vic talked about the time Robin Williams took his seat and got him kicked out of the Half-Life 2 E3 presentation. Is this a thing that happened?
I can't even remember. That sounds like it could have happened for sure. Yeah, that totally sounds like it could have happened. Yes. I honestly don't remember that as because I met him, right? So that
Yeah.
was a much more memorable experience for me, but it's totally possible.
Why do you ask?
I don't know. Just seems pretty simple for.
A
Okay.
comment from Nintendo Boy 17. They
Yep.
were about James Gunn. They were old tweets, harsh.
Very straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay, man. All systems are
Old
go.
tweets, but they would stick with them, and then people would be able to paint him in that context.
Yeah.
And every interview that James Gunn would do for Marvel, going forward, someone would bring it up, and it would be in the press all the time.
Timberwolf says political figures are vetted? Question marks. Yeah, I mean, there's at least one who wasn't really, or he was and no one cared.
Straight from the aliens. It makes all sorts of cool shit out here.
Okay. So I'm taking the stuff that's in the green barrels. Green is good. Red you blow up.
They're saying the game volume's a little low, so I'm gonna fix it.
Okay. Okay. Who did what to the what now? What do I do? So go over here. Okay. Teleporter.
It's probably quiet because you're not doing anything loud yet.
Okay. Teleporter is not working.
So when do you shoot aliens?
I don't know, man. Oh, I have to loot the barrels. I have to loot 500 somethings of the barrels.
You got 400.
Okay, here we
So
go.
there's your last one.
When
Okay.
you're done, man, take some of your space jizz over that 3D print machine over there, and I'll show you a cool trick.
Blade Blur, who should direct Guardians 3?
Oh man, Edgar Wright. I actually would love that.
Roseanne Barr.
Come on,
Oh,
man.
no.
Everyone likes Matt.
3D printer. Okay, so I've just printed a gun, which is now legal in America, I think.
It's a 3D print a gun?
Yeah. I just read that. Okay, so I have my weapon. Here we go.
Shoot some stuff.
Yeah, that works, man. Space jizz equals
Tyler Fisher's
firearms.
asking you to turn on the subtitles.
Yes.
Turn on the subtitles?
Yeah, the thing is they're going to be cut off, though, by our picture-in-picture thing.
Oh, right. I can do it, though.
If they're, I can make it smaller to...
Subtitles background.
What does that mean?
Adds a background for better subtitle readability.
Oh, like it puts a bar underneath it.
Systems are restored.
Okay.
The more tools I can provide to obliterate any and all life
There are
forms
no
who stand in
subtitles.
our way.
Oh, okay. There it is.
What do you mean, all life
Let me
forms?
just see how that looks on
You'll
the
see when we get
stream.
outside.
Okay.
I want to know if I need to adjust
Yeah,
the...
man,
That's
don't
fine.
let
I've
you
just been
haul
added.
all the glory for saving the world. Here's the
Oh,
part.
someone added you.
Come on,
Yay.
grab my head, dude. You got work to do.
Yeah, I might make our
Okay, so I
picture
gotta-
a little smaller.
I gotta collect Herc's head. Got it.
This is not happening.
Get a grip, Nicholas, because your brain's about to go kablooey.
There we go. Now we are on Mars. Lost on Mars. Okay, you guys, so this is Let's Play in Chat, Lost on Mars. You go ahead and ask us anything, comment on anything. It is Friday, so do it up!
The landscape.
Party!
On will help restore my functionality and help you on your journey.
Nintendo Boy 17. Similar backlash, I recall, happened with Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks after the net leaked his old political standings, making him leave some causes.
Oh, yeah?
And it was the same people who dug up
Wait,
those
wait, wait,
old.
man, stay off
It
that
was a
dirt.
blog for him. It was like a blog post from 20 years ago when he was not, when he was still a conservative.
Oh, real?
Yeah.
Huh.
And it was the same people who dug up that dug up the thing on James Gunn.
We can't
Okay.
find the other energy cores unless we
I
power
think
the
that's
antenna.
that to me is the
Me.
The interesting
the,
element.
the thing
Wow,
that
that's cool looking.
Fans out here.
Very different from anything I shot in Far Cry 5.
it looks kind of like a bear. Or a
Ah! What the frack? I'm already dead.
Now, are your companions
I'm
with
dead.
you? Did any of your companions from the game come with you?
No.
So it's just you.
Just me out there.
Because that's what I did in the main game. I just sent my bear to just go deal with all my problems.
Oh, right, yes. It would
And
be great
so-
to have my bear.
I
I
guess
don't
you
know
can't
if
do
I'm
that
the
here.
same guy. Because I
Are
skipped
you?
the story. I don't think I am.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I'm the deputy.
It's weird that it's Herc, though.
We can't find the other energy cores
So I
unless
need
we
to
power
collect
the
these
antenna.
things.
Wouldn't it be awesome if they had a bear running around in a spacesuit?
Can be looted from green barrels, can also be looted directly from arachnids. Obliterating arachnids will reduce them to raw hemoleum. Hemoleum is required to print new 3D new weapons at 3D printers.
Tyler Fisher Willis does
Man,
show up
some
in the main
stuff
game.
ain't as
Okay.
advanced out here
He's the
as is an
CIA
antenna,
agent.
For which I apologize, okay?
He actually has one mission, and it's really funny.
Oh, the
You uncover the
The
P
P-pants.
tape
Yeah,
for
P-tapes.
Trump's P tape.
yeah.
Fat Chimp.
I love Far Cry 5.
Yeah,
It's
it's a good
so
game.
cool.
The ending's a little but yeah, it's a good game. I would recommend it.
Where am I going?
Fat Chimp question: the 60 frames per second standard was lost with the PS3 generation. How important do you think frame rate is for the average consumer?
I don't think they know if it's there or not, the average consumer.
Yeah,
But
most people don't notice.
I think, yeah, we notice because we scrutinize this stuff, but I feel like, yes, we should be trying to hit that 60 frames per second. I think that's what we get in the next gen. I think we get 4K at 60 frames per second. I don't think we go up from the resolution ever. or you know, until
4K.
until we get 8K in
On the
10 or 15
PS6.
years. Yeah. But yeah, I think next gen will be a lot of 4K 60 frames per second.
It's
gonna be amazing.
I think not with shooters, yes, 60 is great, but some third-person games, like developers have said this, that
Yeah.
they prefer the look in 30 frames per second.
it's more cinematic.
It's more like a movie.
Yeah.
And I hate it when I go to someone's house and their TV has that stupid frame blur thing.
Oh, totally.
Where they try to make movies look at 60 frames per second. Like the Hobbit movies were terrible in 60 frames
Aaron
per
was
second.
telling me they're gonna
it
use
looks
No,
like-
they were shot for that. though.
Yeah, did you see it in 60
I
frames per
did.
second?
I saw 48 frames per second.
Or 48 or
Yeah,
whatever?
it
Yeah.
was great.
No, it looked terrible.
It took a while for me to adjust to it, but yeah, it was definitely polarizing. But the thing that I liked about it was that the visual effects looked like real life, and that just blew my mind.
Yeah, but I still I didn't like it because I saw it in 48 frames as well. And
Yeah.
I prefer the look of 24 frames per second.
Yeah, I think most people did. 'Cause it didn't really change anything. But isn't Avatar supposed to be a high
Yeah,
frame rate
the new
experience?
sequel. Well, I don't know if they're gonna do that though, because they announced initially that they were gonna shoot at 60 frames.
Okay,
But this was like in 2010 when they first started making those movies.
Right.
After the first one came out.
right.
But then, and that was before The Hobbit. And when the first Hobbit movie came out, it was 48, and nobody liked the 48 frames. Like you liked it, but most people didn't. And then I think like the third Hobbit movie wasn't even released in 48
Right.
frames. Like they didn't even bother to distribute it because it was an experiment that didn't work.
This is the highest I can reach, right? So do I double jump to
Can you
this
not
thing?
jump to?
I don't know. Yeah, I can. I was a bit nervous there.
You do, yeah. You
Okay.
do grab thing.
All right, here we go. Boom.
So I don't know. Like the Hobbit might have persuaded them to not shoot Avatar at a high frame rate.
Antenna
We'll see.
restored.
Or maybe they'll shoot it at a high frame rate, but it'll be
Excellent.
I don't know,
Thank
something
you for
divisible
your
by
assistance.
24 so they can
You may
just
now consult your map
go to 24
locate
more
other
easily
energy
if they need
cores
to.
in this area.
Tyler Fisher's got a 10-year-old monitor working just fine. We have a very old iPad that we still use.
This
every day.
iPad is almost 10 years old.
Blueprints and 3D printers. Activating terminals will unlock new weapon items and blueprints. 3D printers are found on all antennas as well as in various locations in the world. You can browse through the locked items in the 3D printers to check their unlock conditions. Okay, here we go.
Tyler Fisher is saying he has friends who brag about 120 frames per second being
man,
too
those two
laggy.
blips right
Just STFU already. Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
that is
Big-ass
like,
spacecraft.
you can look at those people and
Picking
tell
up
them
a
they are
signal from
factually
your gravity
incorrect.
belt nearby.
Because these light bulbs are blinking at 120 frames a second, and you can't see them blink.
Right.
Okay, or 120 hertz.
No.
Boy, we got nerdy.
No way.
Your brain.
We got into the hertz.
If anyone tells you they can
Whoa.
tell, if anyone tells you they can tell the difference between 120 frames or anything above, they are lying. They cannot. Your eye, the human eye, is physically incapable.
What the hell's
Like, and if they do, then ask them if they can see lights blinking around them all the time.
I have
'Cause you
space
can't.
bandages.
Like, there's a certain point where your eye can't tell the difference. Can't tell the difference anymore.
We opened a can of worms, man. Can I teleport somewhere? Because I don't really want to jump. Okay, let's do it. Cool. Okay, let's teleport over to here. I can't. Oh, I can teleport back to here. I'm here. Where am I? Right there. Control. On unavailable. Unavailable. So look at this pretty sizable little map we got here.
Paul Adamson, hertz and frames per second are basically the same thing. It's the number of times the electricity's going on and off per second.
Okay.
Pretty much. Like a light bulb that's 120 hertz is blinking 120 times a second.
So I can't fast travel anywhere. Okay.
But I gotta
Boo!
get
So what do I gotta do? I have to jump off of this thing?
People are disagreeing with me. Well, you're wrong.
Oh.
You're wrong.
What are they saying? How are they disagreeing?
Fat Chimp says, I disagree with Blake. The human eye can see way more than 120 frames per second. That's not true. You can't.
Well,
Your brain can't process it.
How can you say that definitively?
Because the lights.
Do you have the scientific information
Yes.
about that?
A light.
In front of you?
Yeah, I'm gonna Google it right now.
Okay,
And
let's
I'm gonna
do
quote, I'm
the
gonna quote
Google.
this shit. Because a light bulb is a light is not a solid light. Like when a light bulb is
Sure.
on, it's not solidly on. It's
Sure.
blinking 120 times a second. And you can't see it blink
Okay.
because your eye cannot tell the difference.
I understand that.
I'm Googling it right now, just to.
Okay. Is every eye made exactly the same? I would think that there are probably some athletes out there that have super fast vision and see things like
Okay, so
they're in slow motion.
frequency is the number of such cycles per second and is measured in hertz. Hence, a bulb blinks twice the time of hertz applied by AC power systems, i.e., for 50 hertz, it will blink 100 times. Okay, so 120 hertz is blinking, so 60 hertz is blinking 120 times a second.
Okay.
But still, what I'm saying is basically true. Like, you hit a threshold and your eye can't tell the difference.
But is 120 hertz that threshold?
I don't know. It's probably 120.
Well, probably is debatable, right?
What are people in the chat saying?
We got nerdy, guys.
The point is, yeah, you can't see more than 120 frames per second. Because if you could, then a 60 hertz light bulb
Dang, is that?
would not appear as a solid light.
Well,
Right.
who else's hand would it be, dummy?
So I can't go in there. Okay, I got it.
I took electronics and engineering in high school, guys. I know what I'm talking about.
I think if I leave the path, these guys come up. Sand. They must hear my stuff. Oh, I gotta collect this thing. Okay. Oh, that's his hand. We're trying to put Herc back together again. That's hilarious. Okay.
Timberwolf agrees with me, by the way, so I win.
Oh, okay.
I got Timberwolf on my side. That's all that matters. The point is,
It is good to have a Timberwolf on your side.
let's get to 120 hertz with everything, or 120 frames per second, and then we don't need to go any
I'm
higher.
just not
'Cause
mentally
you can't tell the
prepared to accept the possibility that something really bad has happened.
So Avatar on
With
120
that
hertz.
120 frames, yeah.
120 frames per
Let's do
second
it.
for Avatar. Let's do it. Let's do it, James Cameron.
My scans indicate
Maybe give
several
James Gunn a
morphologic
job.
anomalies.
Come on, you
James Gunn's not
serious?
going to have any
My
trouble
body's in
finding a
bunch
job.
of pieces.
Well, I
Oh,
think we
man,
just
I'll go find
discovered
them all.
our new director for the next Man of Steel movie.
You will gain the ability to
DC will
detect
want
such
him.
anomalies yourself.
Help us, Zack Snyder, or James Gunn.
Done and done. Here and now, another promise is made. We will find
Now,
my
will they
body
delay
parts
the
and put me
movie?
back together like
Is the
Humpty
question
Dumpty,
I'm
'cause
gonna-
there ain't no point in saving the world.
That's
if
going to be
there's
very
no
interesting
clue.
over the next
My
few.
beautiful-
We're going to hear a lot of news about this over the next few
Oh,
weeks
yeah.
and months.
Is the future.
Who's going to direct? Is it going to be
Oh,
delayed?
I left the mission zone. I can't hear all the stuff properly out of the 1 year.
Yeah.
Teacher says he could see Photon's moving.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Alexandra Daviau.
You can't see a photon.
Davion.
You can see light moving. Like, you can see at the speed of light. That's crazy.
Let's call up this teacher right now. We
You
need
can
the phone
measure
number.
photons and you can-
Alexandre, phone number of your teacher. Get them live on the show right now.
You can do weird experiments with photons and how they, like, turning off the source of one will turn off
Do I have
others
another
and-
weapon? I don't have any other weapons. Don't put up swap to another weapon when all I have is my hand.
Like, you don't see light traveling across.
Okay.
Because you don't see at the speed of light. It's crazy.
Nintendo Boy 17 says James Cameron's sick of superhero movies. He wants everybody else to be sick of superhero movies.
All viewers saw flicker artifacts over 200 hertz. Maybe, Fatshit, maybe you're talking about when you shoot a screen that's at a different frame rate than what your camera is shooting at, because that creates a scan line. That's not the same as your eye not seeing. Like, your eye wouldn't see that.
I'm just running from these monsters.
Looks like the energy cores are up there. We need to find those space jets.
Oh, okay, so I gotta find a jetpack and I can fly. So these guys are very tough.
So if you stare directly into the sun, you can see photons.
Oh shit, that's my
I've never done that,
area.
but I'll take your word for
Get a
that.
space crab giving me dirt.
Oh man. I have a pea shooter.
Can you make a better gun? I had this problem with Mother Gunship yesterday. Can you make a better gun?
I can, but I don't know how to get to it.
Like, maybe you need to craft a
I do, yeah.
thing or
I
something?
can craft a shotgun, a space shotgun.
Do you have abilities that you like skill points you can apply to yourself?
I need to find and collect energy cores, but doors are locked on me, and I have no ability to get up there.
Press pause for a second.
Yeah.
Can you apply skill points to your
No.
to yourself
No.
like you can in the main game?
Let's see. No, I just have the map.
Hit RB, journal, inventory.
I need to get some of that stuff. I've found his hand and his head. So I'm
Okay, yeah,
trying-
you don't have because in the main game you have that skill tree, right?
Right. No, I'm trying to find. I think I'm just gonna stick. I'm just gonna shoot. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna kill everything. And I think they're popping up based on where I'm walking on the sand.
All right, Lucretia, you can't hold a photon in your hand. Light passes through objects.
We need to get Bill Nye on the show immediately. Does anybody know Bill Nye's Skype handle? Hi, Bill. Yes, this is Electric Playground. We need to figure out how many photons we can see.
Oh,
at 120
Superman
hertz.
can use light.
Yeah. It's very important that you call back Electric Playground right now, Mr. Bill Nye.
Can Superman? Never mind if he can outrun the Flash. He holds light.
Look at that. Swap to another weapon. You can eat shit message. I am not going to swap to another weapon. I do not have one. Okay.
Well, what happens if you press Y?
I go to my fists, which are not very useful against these giant
Just run by these
monsters.
things. Are they
No.
Are they endlessly
I've tried
spawning
that
or?
4 times. Yes. Look at this. Look at this. That is frightening as hell.
It's like a crustacean thing.
Oh my god. Look at how many. I can't get past this stupid check.
You sure you
choke
can't
point.
just run right to the?
No, they pop up out of the
Just
sand.
run past them.
I'll try.
It looks like they're just endlessly spawning.
Yes, I know. Feels like that too.
So if you stop and fight them, they're just gonna. Oh, maybe they're like the antlions in Half-Life.
Yeah, they can hear me when I'm walking on the.
So
thing.
maybe walk on the rocks instead of the sand.
Oh, okay. Like walk on this area.
Yeah, like
Okay.
don't touch the sandy part.
Gotcha.
Just stay on the rocks
All right.
and like jump to there.
Half-Life saved us again.
Is that what it is?
Yes, it is.
Oh my god, it's totally Half-Life. That's great.
There was, oh, see?
Yeah,
You're
see?
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like the Tremors.
All right. I couldn't hear the warnings on any of that stuff.
Sorry, yeah, we were complaining about
Photons and
photons and
hertz.
electrons.
Oh, you eat shit. Okay.
Sam I am 111. What are your thoughts on the Matrix possibly being rebooted?
Looks like the energy cores are up there. We need to find those space
It's kind of
jets.
surprising it hasn't been already.
Yeah, who would be excited about that?
Studio executives at Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I guess, but like,
Now, would the Wachowskis be involved?
probably not.
They'd probably have to have at least a producer credit or something. I would
Yeah, they're
imagine.
created by.
Like, they're still. I don't think they ever had a falling out with Warner Brothers. They made a couple of box office duds for that studio, but I don't think they ever had bad blood.
I don't want to reboot. I mean, I could see. I don't know where I can't even remember how 3 ended.
Well, there was a news story that surfaced a few years ago about them
Getting
trying
back
to
together.
reboot it.
Yeah.
Well, Warner Brothers trying to reboot it, and it would be a soft reboot in the same universe, but focus on a different character.
Okay, I would be okay with that.
Yeah, that could work. I mean, the world is certainly,
Oh,
big
shit,
enough
that's my
to do
pelvic
stuff with
area.
it.
Yeah.
Big-ass space
I mean, if you can
Space
reboot
bandages.
Star Wars and everything else, you can reboot
Sweet.
that.
I got his pelvis and space jet, so now I can fly. Okay, cool. Gravity belt gives you better mobility in the air. Use A to activate it.
We have a very important question from Jordan Cunningham.
Okay.
What game are you playing, Vic?
This is Far Cry 5 Lost on Mars. This is the DLC for Far Cry 5.
The Far Cry series has a long, proud history of making
Look at
DLC.
You are lucky
Oh, you got a
never had to
jetpack?
go through
Yes.
this, man. Nick, I'm
The
telling
Far,
you,
Far Cry DLC is
I
always
didn't quite make it.
Far Cry DLC is always weird and different from the main
Come on,
game.
man.
They have like
No
Blood
sympathy.
Dragon and weird stuff.
Get up there. Cool.
So now you're just like
Nice.
Boba Fett. You have a jetpack
This
and
is
everything.
great. What did I just get there? Oh, I put them together. That's awesome. Okay, so where do I go now?
The crowd jump across the thing.
We gotta find the rest of me, Nick. From my temples
Well, there's
to my
yeah,
taint
it's
to my
200
toes, man.
meters,
All of me, okay?
Sweet.
And then Ann can turn me into a real boy again.
Okay, jetpack makes this game much more interesting, as it would in every game. I'd like to see Madden with jetpacks. Who's with me?
You'd like to see who in jetpacks?
The Madden games.
With
Football with jetpacks. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, I guess.
Tell me. That would be amazing, right?
Indestructible.
How would you play football with a jetpack, though, Vic?
Everybody has them.
But that doesn't. But
Be so fun. Okay, come on.
be like the what's that game in Harry Potter that they play Quidditch with
Yeah.
flying brooms?
Yes. Except they can tackle each other. Right? Space Bandage used it. Uh-oh. I don't have any other weapons. I'm out of power. Thank you. Oh! This is pretty rad. I'm digging
Comment.
the atmosphere, man.
Yeah. Comment. Matrix 1 is still great, but I don't think it aged that well compared to other action films like Hard Boiled.
Right.
I think the first Matrix did. The sequels, not so much. Part of the problem with the first Matrix movie is that it was so influential that it seems not as cool in retrospect because
Everybody's
so
ripped it
many
off.
movies have ripped it off.
Right.
All of me, okay? And then Ann can turn me into a real
Now I
boy.
want to go see The Matrix 1 again.
What you're saying isn't possible.
Nobody ever says I want
way,
to see The
Jose.
Matrix 2 or 3.
You shoot a big enough load of that
I have not had
space
any
shit,
desire to
man.
watch those
Never
movies
heard
since
of
they
it.
came out.
Yeah, there were cool elements in those movies.
Sure, but they were
Something
stupid.
greater than
Superfluous.
man. You will become immortal.
The first one works so well as its own
It's
self.
kind of like The Hobbit we were talking about, you know? There was some great stuff in all 3 of the movies to make one movie.
Yeah, it should not have been 3 films.
Yeah.
But the Matrix
These guys are
1
tough.
works so well as a self-contained thing.
Yeah.
But the
I
sequels
believe in
just-
you, Neo. That kid in Matrix 3. Good one, Abby. Okay, so this is a lot. This is a bit of a meat grinder, this game. You edge, and then you edge, and then you edge.
Adrian Leah and I've been lately playing Far Cry 3 Classic Edition on the Xbox One. I'm better off with that than Far Cry 5. Far Cry 5 is good. I don't know, did you play it, Adrian? It's good. It's not, I don't know if it's as better than the other ones,
No
but
way, Jose.
It's pretty good.
I love it. It's beautiful. But what 3 has is that surprise, man. That shock and awe that game has.
I still like 4 better than 3.
Yeah.
Just because just jetpack over these things, Vic.
These guys are tough.
Use jetpack over all these guys.
These Martians. Brutal. Okay, here we go.
That's your ASMR, Vic, for today. Can you not jetpack? Is it not endless?
No.
Okay.
No, I run out of power, and then I fall into a pit of very tough
You can't
Martian
shoot.
bad guys.
There's no weapon wheel or anything?
I have no weapons. I have to get to a transference center so I can
Have you
make-
tried opening the weapon wheel, though?
Herc, what you're saying isn't possible.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
okay.
way, Jose.
I have a hand and
You shoot a big enough load of that
my
space
pistol.
shit in the AS 3D
My
printer.
pea
and
shooter.
It seems stupid that they...
Nonsense, Herc.
You could try a different mission. It looks like there's one behind you.
Greater than man. You will become
I'm
immortal,
gonna try to...
indestructible.
See, they're shooting me, man. They're not just... This sucks.
Try, maybe there's an easier mission you should do before this one that would give you a better gun.
No.
Because there's mission objectives behind you, right?
I have to get to this thing.
But you can set your mission.
Dude, I'm running. I'm going. I'm doing it.
If you die again,
Support
let's,
me. Support me.
I
Space
am.
bandage. Here we go.
It's just if you die again, let's see if there's other missions that you could try.
Look at me.
I'm starting to get real excited now.
Oh shit.
Cannot believe
That
in
was
just
not
a
smart.
few minutes, I'm gonna be a cold,
okay, give me some-
uncaring cybernetic death
Just run.
monster.
You're almost there.
It's gonna be sweet,
You're only
man.
70 meters
it's gonna
away.
Be sweet.
Do it.
Go, 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 go. Oh, get up there. Get up there. Get up there. Nice. Okay.
Good job.
Okay, restore the power. I have to get up there.
I
Where
think
do
you gotta
I
go up one more level.
Are they still shooting me?
Yeah. So you gotta fly up one more level.
Is this it? What do I do?
There's gotta be a door or something inside there. Go down and back to where you were.
Crap.
Is there not like a door or something there?
No. I gotta get in here somehow. Maybe I have to go climb on top and then go.
Was there not a door on the very bottom?
No.
Just go up one more maybe? There's...
Maybe there is one right in the very bottom.
Don't die. There's a door
Okay.
there. Can you open it though?
Take these things. There it is.
Oh, there.
Get in there. Go. Down. Cool.
Yeah, you did it.
Progress.
Now try to change your guns.
Ah, no! Not these frackers. Oh my
They're
god.
following you in. Oh no.
Oh my god. Get over there.
Okay, the terminal is on the top floor.
There's
you
no
gotta
way
power
up.
that
How do you
place
go
up
up?
before we can use the transference chamber.
Whoa,
you fly
space
like
bandage.
the wind now, little monkey.
Monkeys don't fly, Herc.
Not with that
Can I
attitude,
get
they
in
don't.
here? No, what's in here? Nothing. Oh man, this is terrifying. Okay,
Just go up.
so I gotta get up there somehow.
You could probably reach it with your jetpack. Just go up to the next.
But I don't know where to get in.
There's got to be. It's probably over there where the.
Okay. Famous last words. It's probably,
there it is.
Oh, there
There
it
it
is.
is right
Okay.
there.
Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. But can I get in? Yes, I'm in. Oh my god.
Yay!
Woo! I was sweating. That was pretty intense. Okay, give me some guns.
Transference center restored.
3D printer, yes. Give me something a little more powerful.
What Abby Jamison says, what you need is a Doom Marine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some Doom weapons would be good.
That's a laser blazer. What is this? So I have Blaster of Disaster. Oh, I see. I keep going down here. This is what I need. I need punches and bunches, but I don't have enough. I don't have enough. Emolium. Oh man, I gotta go get some more.
Okay, but wait, hang on.
barrels.
Just press pause for a second.
Okay.
Like, go to your,
Working as a
like,
team will great.
not that one, like the
This
in-game thing.
okay.
Yeah. Look at your journal. Do you have other side missions you could do?
No.
That's your only mission?
Yeah, that's it.
Hit RB, because look, because that's story missions. What's like that? See the diamond at the top?
Herc missions, side missions. I've not accepted any mission of this type.
Okay.
That's it so far.
You'd think they would have like side missions you could do
To collect some
to
of this
get a
stuff.
good gun.
I think it's super easy right now, except for me because I'm trying to whip through it.
Put me
And
in,
what is this?
dude.
What does this do? Oh, this teleports us now.
me in.
Okay. All right, so life has changed. We have a teleporter. Where can we go? Can we go back to here? No. Can we go to here? No. Well, why not have the fast track?
Oh, we didn't talk about how the Discord server is up.
The Discord server is up. Are
Yeah,
you on
Blade,
it?
I don't know. What is Discord? Just kidding. No, Blade Blur just posted a link in the comments.
Yes, it is up, and people are joining it already. So what can I get here? I can get an
So we can have our riveting
myself with
conversation about.
space armor.
We can talk about hertz and electrons all day.
Yesterday, Blade Blur let me know that I had voice chat going on Discord the whole time.
Oh, and like you were talking
On my computer, yes.
So what did that mean? Like you were?
I don't know. I
was
think
just hearing you talk.
I don't know who could hear me, but he let me know that he could. So I was talking with Ruby for some stuff after we went shopping.
It's a good thing you weren't doing something like dirty or inappropriate.
Yes. Oh, look, there's some barrels right there. There we go. But they don't really give you that much. I need 450 hermoliums. Okay, here we go. Come on, give me this. 12. Okay, what's over here? I like these jumps with the... This is pretty cool.
Hang on, I'm just signing up for Discord.
Oh, are you getting in there right now?
Yep, I'm putting the app and everything on my
Are
phone.
people bouncing back and forth between the chat and Discord right now? Oh,
I'm about to find out.
okay, loot him. Oh, 24. Okay, so these guys actually give me a lot of the space junk that I need to be able to...
Like the guy that you stole?
Yeah. They give me more than the barrels do. Okay. Another one.
I'm just thinking about that James Gunn thing. There's probably other behind the scenes issues.
Stuff?
too.
Yeah. I'm sure there is.
Like maybe he was asking for, this is just pure speculation on my part, but maybe he was asking for too much money, or maybe he was butting heads with them about other stuff, and then this was just the excuse they needed to. That happens sometimes in movies and
Right.
whatnot. So.
It's very conspiracy theory of you.
Well, I'm not saying that's what happened. It's just I wouldn't be surprised to hear something like that, right?
There
Like,
was-
it's probably not just this one thing.
There was the writer not getting the credit on the first movie.
The first movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Nicole Perlman?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, Gunn, I think, went out of his way to make sure that she didn't get the credit.
Yep.
There we go, okay, now what are we at now?
So how do we tie Discord into...
YouTube?
Yeah. Is it...
I don't know.
Anyway, this is our Discord. I've got it on my phone now.
We're live.
There's 12 people in there. So thanks for setting that up, Blade Blur.
Are they on right now?
Yeah, there's like 12 people in there.
Right on. So are they talking about us?
Yeah.
They're having like...
There I see Mystic Ninja, Blue
They're-
Mystic Ninja.
So they're talking about us over here in the chat?
Yes.
And so like they're gossiping about the people in the chat room right now.
Yes.
Over on the YouTube.
So you should all get in there to see what they're saying about you.
From one chat service to another.
Thiago Santos just went in and said hello.
Cool. I don't know what.
Abby Jamison is in
I
there.
don't know what to do. What do I do? What are all these widgets and things? What are these things up there? What do they do? I need some.
Jordan Cunningham.
materials.
I have a question from Jordan Cunningham, Vic.
Yes.
Have you played Code of Princess?
Just got a code for it today. What's the word?
You got a code for Princess?
Code of Princess X. Yes, I did, from Nicholas. So I haven't downloaded it yet. I'm going to try to have a Mega Man X review for you guys next week. So that's sort of in my mind, the Mega Man X Legacy Collection.
Nintendo Boy 17. Hey, EP Crew. Did you read any game magazines growing up? I read
yeah.
Nintendo Power and Game Informer. Now I only read Retro Gamer.
Do you read Retro Gamer? He
I'm
does.
reading his comments.
Okay. I was shocked that you would read Retro Gamer.
I don't read magazines.
I read all of them, and
Actually, that's not true. I have magazines on my phone,
yes.
like articles that I read on my phone.
Oh, I see. Okay, so come out here. Right. So this is an endless supply of the materials that I need to build better weapons. Gotcha.
I like the design of these things. These are really cool.
Yeah, they're very spooky. I wish Prey had something like this. Right?
Yeah.
Prey had something like this, but they were just black,
Yeah.
which isn't scary.
I think
It'd be scary if you saw just a black thing in real life, but in a video game, it's pretty hard to make that scary.
Ubisoft was banking pretty heavily on the Far Cry Arcade as an ongoing games and service platform.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know how well that's doing, but this was probably made with the intent of creating all these new assets
For sure.
to
Good-
put
good-
into
good
that.
point, yeah.
Because like that, the whole point of that Far Cry Arcade is you can use all the assets and characters and everything from the game and also other Ubisoft games. So all these character models are probably in that one engine.
Totally. I didn't answer the magazine question, but yes, I used to read electronic games back in the 80s and video games and Antic, the Atari computer game magazine. Read them all. And then in the 90s, I read Next Gen and EGM and GamePro. Everything. I remember when Intelligent Gamer went from the web to a print magazine. There are tons of them.
Timberwolf is requesting that you review Underworld Ascendant before launch.
I will try. The game does look cool.
we
I
just
love
had our
talking
interview,
with Joe, who is an ex. Speaking of EGM, he used to work at Zip Davis, and now he's writing for video games. I think he wrote a little bit for, if I'm not mistaken, he wrote a little bit for Star Wars Battlefront 2. And I think, Warren Spector is involved in Other Side, right? So
Yeah, they. It's weird because we interviewed them. We had our interview yesterday. They don't mention Warren Spector in the interview, but you can see him in all the behind-the-scenes videos that I used.
Right.
So yeah. Actually, no, he mentions Warren, but he doesn't say his last name, which is
Right.
a bit odd. But yeah, Warren Spector's involved with that.
Come on, say hi, guys. I'm not gonna hurt you. Just gonna shoot you and harvest you. That's all I'm gonna do. All right. Oh, swap weapon. We got problems.
Abby Jameson question, have you heard any
Uh-oh.
rumors about a new Mega Man X game? Apparently there are messages hinting about it in the new X collection.
Oh, cool. Well, that would make sense, right?
Yeah, they're making a new Mega Man 11, like in the regular Mega Man series. So
Right.
making a new X-style game would make a lot of sense as well.
Right.
Mega Man X was like they have the collection. It was in the Super Nintendo Classic, so it's they're sort of pushing it a lot right now. So that would make a lot of sense. Probably see that next year.
It's cool that these things explode after a while. Oh, okay. All right. So 216. I have a long way to go before I can afford my gun. All right, come on.
Oh, Vic, Jordan Cunningham wants to know, have you seen the new Spider-Man PS4 Pro?
Yes, I did. Oh my God. Have you guys seen this thing? The new.
It's like red and
It's
white.
shiny red with the white logo. I'm not crazy about the white logo. Hopefully the game, answers why they had to do that, or why they chose to do that. But it looks great on a console. The console's gorgeous, man. Yeah, I sure hope we can get one of those for the studio. It'd be great. Okay, what is this?
If you put his head in there, you might finish the mission and get a whole bunch of bonus rewards
good.
and
Yes,
stuff,
let's
right?
try that. Okay.
You might get like a new gun or something. Unless, okay. never
Big
mind.
ass space.
Maybe I shouldn't have got you.
Oh no.
Now you gotta fight this thing.
That's her. That is a space crab with storming privates, man. I know. I'd recognize that ugly face anywhere. You're the reason my wiener's rolling around the sand somewhere looking like a gigantic breaded chicken cutlet.
Oops.
Thanks, Blake.
Sorry. I didn't know that was gonna happen. How was I supposed to know?
Man, my kingdom for a shotgun.
Question:
come
why
on.
is Mario Tennis for the Switch so hard?
It is very hard. Good question. I think longevity, and sometimes developers need to release it out to the world before they can really figure out how to balance something because they get too used to playing their game.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if there is a more manageable difficulty setting down the road. But then you feel like a wuss because you have to set it differently. Shit, these guys are hard.
How do I change my user profile picture on Discord?
You have to ask Blade Blur. Any other questions? Any other comments?
Sorry, yeah, I was neglect. Oh, let me see if there's one on Discord, Vic.
Yeah, there we go. Here we go.
How do I? I'm not.
So
familiar with
are
this
we
app
going to
yet.
start with this thing chasing me down? So what do I have here? How
You
much
can
do I
now
have?
use the transference chamber. The two of you working as a team will
I don't see any questions on Discord.
255. Okay, I need
increase our
200.
chances of success.
And this
Team
is
Cat Bros
open.
for life. Put me in, dude. Put me in.
But I can't go anywhere.
Oh, have you seen the new Mario Kart Hot Wheels toys?
No,
I think that was just announced.
that's cool.
Yeah, apparently I saw something briefly about it. Like,
That sounds. Oh, you know what we didn't talk about this week? The Lego Aston Martin has been revealed. Have you
did
seen
they
it?
reveal that? I missed
Yeah,
that.
the Lego Aston Martin has been revealed.
okay.
So Lego James Bond is a thing, and we can now. I'm not going to go and do that. I'm going to go and collect enough money to make a.
There's definitely going to be a Lego game
Oh yeah.
in coinciding with the new movie that comes out next year.
You think?
Yeah, because Warner Brothers is distributing the movie.
Right.
So, and they own the Lego game company. So,
Oh, that would be brilliant.
Yep.
Super psyched about that.
but yeah, the Mario Kart Hot Wheels are just that makes perfect sense. I mean, Nintendo has said over the last couple of years that they want to branch out and exploit their IP in different ways, and that's one of them. That makes a lot of sense. People like the Mario characters, so why not give them what they want? Tiago Santos, what is your favorite game type and genre?
I'm a third-person action-adventure, story-driven experience, like games like Batman, Arkham series, and Uncharted. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think
Zelda.
I'm there. Yeah,
Mario.
I'm there, but maybe a little less story driven.
Okay.
I like story driven, but I don't like feeling as though the game is holding my hand too much.
Right.
So that's why I like open world games like Grand Theft Auto 5.
Right. Or
'Cause-
the Guerrilla.
Yeah, like Red
remastered.
Faction. Yeah.
Red
Well, that
Faction.
game was a little light on story, but I like Uncharted 4 was too much story for me.
Right.
It felt like I don't like feel.
And you're not a Last of Us fan either.
Yeah, I don't like feeling as though I'm just playing a cutscene or just going through emotions.
Yes.
I want to feel like I have some agency, so it's a
Right.
fine line to walk because it's between having
So,
story and not.
Pretty much Batman,
Yeah, and Grand
Arkham,
Theft Auto 5.
the perfect games.
Yes.
Yes. That's all you need to say.
I've told you my problem with Batman, right?
I don't want to hear your problems with Batman. You keep your Batman problems to yourself. Can't wait to play a new Batman. Any day now, Warner Brothers. Comic-Con will be a great time to reveal what Rocksteady's got going on. Just saying. Okay, so I'm gonna just start blasting these guys until they kill me. So, what are we at here with money? 328. I'm not too far away.
What
So
do
I'm
you
trying to
need?
get to 450.
Okay. How many do you get from each one?
About 12.
So you got to kill
10 of them.
10 or 11 of them?
Yeah. Come on. Come on, guys. Actually, I don't want to kill them when they're on the sand. They're going to be popping up on the sand. So come on up here, guys. I won't hurt you.
Seems like a lot of grinding, which is
So far, yeah.
which is a lot of, the whole point of grinding is padding to make you think the DLC is bigger than it is.
Oh, they're actually worth 24. Come on up, buddy. Come on up. I'm your friend. We come in peace. Okay. Mars.
So you need 91 more.
Yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on, guys. Come on, come and give me a hug. Right.
Yeah,
Come
these
here,
things
antlion.
they're exactly like the antlions from Half-Life 2. Well, they look totally different, which is cool. But.
Come on up, guys. Here we go. You. Oh, the other guy fell. Damn it. Okay, I'll have to go down and first. Loot him. Oh, there's some more.
Jordan Cunningham, we discussed the Mario Kart DLC earlier today. The Breath of the Link's motorcycle is in Mario Kart.
Also, James Gunn, playable in Mario Kart as well.
James Gunn is going to be a Smash Brothers fighter. What Nintendo characters do you want in the next Smash Brothers game, Vic? Other than ARMS, those seems like no brainer.
Yeah, I want ARMS.
I think they're gonna throw the Rabbids in there, because Ubisoft and Nintendo have their partnership. The rumor is that Cranky Kong is gonna be in there.
Okay.
And King.
Funky Kong in there?
What's the bad guy in Donkey Kong? King. Something?
You know what would be cool is if because they've been partnering with Microsoft on stuff. It'd be cool if they threw the 412. Okay. Oh no, I need a bit more. If they threw in the Minecraft characters into the game.
Oh yeah, that would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Or
and maybe even Banjo-Kazooie, you know, because there's a Nintendo heritage there too.
Mike Jones from Star Tropics. That'd be cool.
You know, and Conker. That'd be so badass.
I don't think they'll put that Conker because he's too M-rated.
Well, he was a Nintendo character, man. And now Crash Bandicoot is on the machine, and so is Spyro, right? So that'd be pretty rad. Ah! I'm really hurting. Okay.
Just gotta get 2 more. Oh, you were so close.
Oh, no! This is so grindy!
Well, you know what I always say about games that aren't fun, Vic.
Yeah, you don't have to
You
play them.
stop playing them whenever you want.
Well, I probably would have fun without the studio spotlights on me trying to get past this. I wonder if I've lost it. I wonder if I've
Did you
lost
lose all your
the-
progress?
Yeah, that's what I'm-
Probably.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, man. I think that's it. I don't
Okay.
think we're going to grind through all of that.
I
again.
concur with your. Okay, let's go.
That's Lost on Mars. It is the beginning of the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for watching today.
Thanks for coming, everyone.
You rock. I'm going to keep playing this because I want to do a review on this sucker. So stay tuned for that. Mega Man is on deck. And lots of cool content is constantly coming out. And we'll have all of the San Diego Comic-Con news wrapped up for you in our EP Live on Monday. And just a note, next week, I'm taking a little family vacation, so we're going to actually be off for a few days. Blake is also going to be doing a field trip for the show as well to go and get some content for us. But so Monday we are in. We're going to do an EP Live, and we will give you the full rundown for the way things are going to be going for next week. But we will see you then. Have a fantastic weekend. We've got a classic episode of EP scheduled for tomorrow morning, so make sure you come back for that. And we've also got tons of other content that you may have missed, so dig around. And if you dig it, hit subscribe, that little bell. And if you're so inclined, there's that sponsorship button too on YouTube, on gaming.youtube.com/EPNTV. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend. Play forever.